Hi, I'm Pete Schellenbach. Thanks for joining me again on another a la carte video session, this time talking about high efficiency fryers with our Vulcan PowerFry 5. So as we all know, a fryer it's almost a license to print money in an operation, right? You've got very low cost, low food cost input items. You can charge a very nice price for those items on the way out. The thing is that the cost of a fryer, the true cost of a fryer, comes from the oil. And if you can manage that oil cost through your fryer, especially with a high efficiency fryer that produces more food with less energy use, you're absolutely managing those dollars correctly. With any high efficiency fryer, the idea is higher output for the same amount of energy use at the beginning. You're gonna see me load this fryer down with lots of fried food all at the same time, lots of cold frozen food all at the same time. And what you'll be able to tell is just how quickly that oil came back up to temperature and yielded perfect fried food in very, very short time. Because it's a high efficiency fryer, my oil temperature pops right back up to where I need it to produce perfect fries, and I can get up to 78 pounds of fries an hour out of my 45-pound fryer. Today we're going to be cooking regular French fries, tater tots, waffle fries, tater barrels, and onion rings in the PowerFry 5. We offer ENERGY STAR certified fryers, and they are the most efficient full vat gas fryers on the market. Part of the reason for that is because of our patented FivePass technology. So the Vulcan PowerFry 5 has FivePass technology, and the PowerFry 3 has 3-pass technology. Our patented FivePass heat transfer system is incredibly efficient at removing the energy from the gas and transferring it into the oil. What that means is that your oil is going to come back up to temperature faster, and it's going to do so while using less gas to achieve the same results. The 5-pass burner system would be for the highest volume operations, the kind of things like if you think of like a stadium, the kind of volume that a stadium would require. Because the 5-pass system is so efficient, the oil temperature comes back up almost immediately, and because of that, I can continue to fry at a very high quality. The 3-pass system still is incredibly efficient because I'm getting 3 passes of that heat energy out into the oil. And those operations would be slightly less volume than a stadium, for example, but still a pretty high volume operation.
I'm Casey Denning, design engineer at Vulcan. The PowerFry heat transfer system was designed to be highly efficient, using less gas but providing higher production and great results in the kitchen. The PowerFry 3 has a patented 3-pass system, while the PowerFry 5 goes a step further with a 5-pass system. Pass 1 is the initial combustion chamber. Passes 2 and 3 split and weave through the vat to optimize surface area and contact of the heat exchanger to the oil. On the PowerFry 5, passes 4 and 5 are side and rear jackets on the tank that increase the amount of heat applied to the oil and further improve energy efficiency and production capacity. All this leads to reduced cook times, quick temperature recovery, and great results for your customers, day in and day out.
Fisher Nickel, it is the gold standard in testing labs for commercial food products. And Fisher Nickel has shown that we can produce 14% more pounds per hour of fries than our competition. And that 14% is greater than other companies' high efficiency fryers, where actually 30% more production than would come out of a standard fryer. So because of the incredible efficiency of our 5-pass burner system, we show annual gas savings 25% greater than other high efficiency fryers and 60% higher than standard fryers. The flue temperature is very low. If the flue temperature is low, that means all of that heat that would normally be going up the flue and out into the world is now staying in the fryer, in the oil, being used to cook the food. The PowerFry fryers are available in computerized controls, analog controls, or digital controls. The computer controls obviously give you the greatest range of features, all the way back down to the analog controls, but don't provide the same kind of versatility that the computerized controls would. With the computerized controls, I've got the ability to program different cook times for different types of fried products. Obviously, if I'm frying something big and heavy like a chicken breast or a chicken thigh, something like that, that's going to take longer than, let's say, a mozzarella stick. I can program separate timers for those items so that I don't overcook one or undercook the other. One of the other advantages to the computerized controls is that I can program in things called shake timers. When you're frying, what happens is you put the food in and you should give the food a little shake to make sure that the food separates in the oil to allow better heat transfer from the oil surrounding all of the food. I can program in a shake timer so that after I tell the fryer that I'm going to start cooking, a shake timer will beep at me, telling me as the operator to come and shake the basket. I'm going to get more consistent results that way if I continue to shake the same product at the same time every time. We've got load compensation that won't start the timer until the fryer has brought the oil back up to its preset temperature so that you're getting an accurate time at that temperature. So with our computerized controls, one of the advantages if you're a multi-unit operator is the ability to transfer recipes from one fryer to another fryer, not just within one building, but across multiple locations, like a multi-unit. It's a very simple process. The USB stick can be inserted into the fryer, and I can copy the recipes from the fryer onto the USB stick and then email those files around to my other locations. Or we have an application that can allow me to write the frying recipes on the computer, transfer those to a USB stick, or email those around so that the operators at each individual location can change the fryer. Obviously, for something like a seasonal item, something that you're only doing for part of the calendar year, would be a great way to make sure that all of the units in my operation have the same recipe. To get more into the nuts and bolts of how our fryers save you money, one of the ways is with our SoftStart Ignition system. By heating the oil with fewer BTUs initially at the beginning, I'm going to still raise the temperature of the oil, but I'm going to use less gas while I'm doing that. I still get a great temperature increase from startup, but I'm using less BTU energy to do it, which means that's just gas savings for you. We all understand that it's the money that you have to spend comes from the customers coming in the front door, buying your food, which is great. But the way you stay in business is managing that money correctly. Energy Star helps with that process because you know that if something is Energy Star certified, it will use the lowest amount of energy possible for that type of equipment. And our VK Fryer series is the most energy efficient fryer on the market. Oil management is critical with fryers because we all understand that the cost of a fryer, the true cost of ownership of a fryer, has much more to do with the oil that flows through the fryer than it does with the fryer itself. You pay for the oil once when you purchase it, you pay for the oil again when you use the fryer because you're losing a little bit every time that you pull food out of the fryer, and then you have to pay for the oil again for disposal. So the better you can manage your oil, the better your savings are. Cleaner oil cooks better, cleaner oil tastes better, more importantly, and those savings go right to your bottom line. The clean screen technology is going to be the subject of another a la carte session that we're going to get to in a little while, so you'll be able to see that in more detail. Today we produced what's called a fry board with our Vulcan PowerFry5 fryer. This is a great trend in restaurants where we take all of our fried, or many of our fried appetizer, fries, side dishes, things like that, put them all on one board, almost like a charcuterie board, but done with fries. Thanks again for joining me, this time talking about the Vulcan PowerFry5 and high efficiency fryers.
Thank you, Chef Pete, for your high efficiency fryer presentation. The appetizers look great as always and reinforce why, at Vulcan, every day is Friday. I am Chris Cook, the Business Development Manager for Fryers, Griddles, and Charbroilers. Whether your customers are cooking for a stadium crowd or feeding everyday traffic in a quick service restaurant, temperature recovery in a fryer is the key to successful service. Energy efficient fryers are designed to recover quickly, using as little energy as possible in the process. Vulcan's PowerFry5 fryers have cooking energy efficiency of 66% plus, which is best in class in the industry. These fryers are high demand fryers ideally suited for large volume operations, including stadiums, casinos, and chain restaurants. For medium to high volume operations, Vulcan also offers the PowerFry 3 with a cooking energy efficiency of 60%. The PowerFry 3 is price positioned below the PowerFry 5. Check out these fryers on the Vulcan website, as well as our entire fryer lineup. We have the fryer to suit your needs.